KMF speakers, board members of Khazanah, Dato Zahir, Managing Director of Khazanah, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Salam Malaysia Madani, and the warmest greetings to Khazanah Megatrends Forum 2024. A very good evening to all of you. Let me begin by expressing my sincere thanks to Dato Faisal and Khazanah for inviting me to speak at this esteemed event. Listening to Dato Faisal's summary of the 2 days is encouraging to hear that the discussions have been thoughtful, with plenty of interesting ideas and insights shared. This year's Khazanah Megatrends Forum theme, Pursuit of Potatoes, Paving Path from Probable to Possible, is quite different and offers a compelling challenge. It urges us to recognize how simple ideas can spark profound transformation in complex systems. Malaysia, at a critical juncture of recovery growth, is navigating a multifaceted landscape of strategic policies, national blueprints, and budget incentives. These discussions over the last 2 days have emphasized that alongside structured strategies, we must allow room for unconventional ideas, small innovations that could ripple through our socio-economic fabric, accelerating us towards our development goals. Building on the theme, Paving Path from Probable to Possible, I find it particularly relevant to the government's effort in driving Malaysia's next phase of economic growth under Ekonomi Madani, memperkasakan rakyat. In our pursuit of potatoes, we are not merely aiming for what's probable, but pushing for bold strategies and creative solutions. Our objective is to transcend conventional boundaries, applying innovative approaches that will not only stimulate growth, but also ensure a sustainable future for all Malaysians. Ladies and gentlemen, our country's economic transformation is clearly gathering momentum. Despite a confluence of challenges, energy scarcity, political polarization, a widening socio-economic gap, and ongoing geopolitical tensions, to name a few. However, a year in driving of the Ekonomi Madani plan, we are seeing evident signs of progress. In the second quarter of 2024, Malaysia's economy posted a GDP growth of 5.9%, supported by steady recovery in key sectors like construction, manufacturing, services, and tourism. The strong performance in both foreign and domestic direct investments reflect growing investor confidence. Furthermore, inflation has moderated to 1.9% as of August, helping to ease cost of living pressures for the rakyat. The performance of the FBM KLCI, which hit an all-time high in market capitalization over 2 trillion ringgit in June this year, underscores the resilience of domestic equities despite global uncertainties. The ringgit continues to outperform regional currencies, recovering by 8% since February this year, on the back of not just Fed rate cuts, but also Malaysia's efficient fiscal management and government initiatives to attract investments. With sound fiscal policies and ongoing commitments to reform under Ekonomi Madani framework, I believe that we all share the confidence that Malaysia is on track to exceed a national growth target of 4 to 5% in 2024. However, while the growth of Malaysia is encouraging by the numbers, they only tell part of the story. After all, as a country, Malaysia is not defined only by its economy, but also by its people, its culture, and its collective attitude towards progress. Therefore, her development must encompass more than just economic metrics. It requires a commitment to inclusivity, embracing the strength of our diversity, nurturing talent, and fostering innovation. Hence, how Malaysia pursues its next leg of growth depends not only on our ability to stay the course in executing policies, but also our capacity to be open to collaboration, innovation, and commitment to forward-thinking solutions that can have a meaningful effect on national development. Ladies and gentlemen, at KMF 2024, we discussed the need for systematic approach in seeking out possible solutions when tackling national challenges, as opposed to focusing on probable solutions. We also discussed the need for collaboration in order to unlock adjacent possible solutions and harness our collective brain in Malaysia's development journey. To this end, I believe that the Economy Madani framework, designed to both raise the ceiling for economic opportunities and the floor for improved living standards, offer a broad foundation for driving sustainable growth. It includes initiatives targeted at opening up new economic space and ensuring all Malaysians benefit. The framework provides fertile ground from which potential innovation, breakthrough solutions can emerge. Crucially, the success of these solutions hinges on our ability to collaborate across sectors, uniting efforts to fully harness its potential. Several strategic national blueprints support the Economic Madani framework and have been progressing in tandem. Firstly, we are coming to the fulfillment of the 12th Malaysia Plan, which outlines Malaysia's broader social economic development goals from 2021 to 2025, with a focus on inclusive growth, sustainability, and equitable distribution. The midterm review conducted in 2023 adjusted some targets to align with the new realities like post-pandemic recovery, geopolitical tensions, and the growing urgency around climate change. Major shifts include renewed emphasis on poverty eradication, regional development, and bridging inequality between rural and urban areas. Another key national strategic plan is the National Energy Transition Roadmap, launched in 2023. It outlines Malaysia's strategic framework for transitioning to a low-carbon economy and meeting our net zero emissions by 2050. The NETA aims to create robust regulatory frameworks that will not only enable Malaysia energy transition, but make it attractive for private sector to invest in solar farms, hydrogen production, and carbon capture technologies. The National Industrial Master Plan 2030 was also launched in September 2023. The NIMP places strong emphasis on high-value manufacturing, digitalization, greening the industrial sector. It has 4 mission-based pillars of boosting economic complexity, embracing technology, moving up industry value chain, and addressing sustainability. Ladies and gentlemen, beyond seeing through these blueprints, achieving ambitious targets of the Economy Madani framework demands a unified effort from the entire nation, including the corporate sector. I am especially encouraged by the panel on Stronger Together, Catalyzing Growth for Malaysia, which has highlighted how collective effort among our GLICs is crucial to our nation's economic revitalization. With over 1.8 trillion ringgit in assets, GLICs represent the largest capital intermediaries in Malaysia, and their pledge of an additional 120 billion ringgit in domestic direct investments over the next 5 years will catalyze targeted economic sector development. The Government-Linked Entities Activation and Reform Program, Gear Up, aims to invigorate growth and bolster structural reforms outlined in the Economy Madani framework by harnessing the collective brains and capital of the GLICs. These investments are not arbitrary, but are focused on high-value sectors like semiconductors, energy transition, and advanced manufacturing, all of which are sectors that will help build new economic ecosystem and propel Malaysia to a stronger, more resilient future. I want to briefly highlight recent efforts by the GLICs in the semiconductor industry. Malaysia is at a pivotal moment in the industry's global supply chain, poised to seize growth opportunities amid geopolitical shifts. The urgency to position Malaysia as a key industry player is underscored by the launch of the National Semiconductor Strategy by the Prime Minister at Semicon Southeast Asia 2024, followed by an industry engagement sessions that brought together government ministries, agencies, GLICs, and private sector players. Our semiconductor hubs in Penang and Kulim is a prime example of a space that has historically sparked innovation and creativity and continues to foster even more possibilities. Global giants such as Intel, Lam Research, and Infineon collaborate with homegrown leaders such as Vitrox and Opstar. This partnership, supported by agencies like CREST and the Penang Skill Development Center, is essential for developing talent, upgrading value chain, and fostering collaborative R&D. Together, these players create an interdependent ecosystem that nurtures incremental innovations, leading to transformative breakthroughs and driving both domestic and global growth in the semiconductor industry. Notwithstanding, talent remains the key success factor for Malaysia's semiconductor industry. Under the NSS, we need 60,000 engineers to achieve the goals set out under the strategy to position Malaysia as a global semiconductor hub. This requires a comprehensive effort from multiple stakeholders. There is already impressive efforts on the ground as a result of collaboration across MNCs, homegrown firms, enabling agencies like CREST and PSDC. With additional firepower from the GLICs and the extended support by the government, I hope to see sustainable talent development from schools right into industry. We must work together to open up these pathways for our young people and empower them to drive our nation's long-term ambitions to fruition. They could be our potatoes. In addition to uplifting the national semiconductor ecosystem, a key area in raising the ceiling for Malaysia is to strengthen firms of all sizes. Venture capital financing is a key focus area under Gear Up. The Ministry of Finance has adopted a whole ecosystem approach in improving the VC ecosystem, together with relevant agencies, capital providers, regulators. With its recent acquisition of Malaysia Venture Capital Management Berhad, MEFCAP, and Pejana Capital, Khazanah has been tasked with establishing a national fund of funds. The NFOF will enhance capital access for startups to drive innovation and economic growth. Similarly, QUAP through Dana Perintis and Dana Pemacu will also contribute efforts to uplift domestic private equity and venture capital space. I believe that a shared purpose of national development drives collective action, and Gear Up truly exemplifies that synergy. Each of the 6 GLICs have chosen to champion selected focus areas. Apart from QUAP and Khazanah focusing on PEVC and Malaysian firms respectively, the EPF will champion advancing an aging society centered on investing in commercially viable, sustainable healthcare solutions. This includes building private wings in public hospitals in partnership with the government. PNB is focusing on modernizing industries with specific emphasis on smart industrial parks and energy transition assets. LTAT, meanwhile, is looking to elevate the country's pharmaceutical value by strengthening the capacity to produce biopharmaceutical products. Not the least, LTH will lead the expanding role of Islamic banking and enhance sustainability of the country's social impact via Islamic financial instruments. Aside from targeted economic sector development initiatives, another important element that the GLICs are collaborating on are initiatives to empower Malaysians. These joint efforts starts with a commitment to pay a minimum living wage of 3,100 ringgit to employees within their groups of companies, far above the average wage in Malaysia. Decent wages are fundamental to narrowing socio-economic gap and ensuring that people can keep contributing meaningfully to the economy. What resonates deeply with the theme of this forum is how GLICs are turning possibilities into realities. By getting the GLICs to heighten their focus on domestic investments, this deployed capital can benefit Malaysians equitably and birth new economic ecosystems, similar to the possible solutions discussed at KMF. Their investments are designed not only to foster sustainable growth, but also to raise both the ceiling and the floor for Malaysians. The path ahead requires GLICs to collaborate with each other, the private sector, and various stakeholders, ensuring that the investments bear fruit in terms of national impact. In this way, GLICs are catalyzing the possible, and only by working stronger together will we achieve sustainable, inclusive growth that we all envision for Malaysia's future. Ladies and gentlemen, at the Ministry of Finance, efforts are underway to realize the Economy Madani vision on building a better Malaysia together. Through engagement sessions and roadshows in preparation for Budget 2025, the Ministry has engaged with stakeholders from all strata of society, from the rakyat to civil servants, think tanks, industry players, and capital providers. This is to ensure the creation of a more inclusive, more relevant, more effective budget that will strengthen the national economy. Budget 2025 will remain firmly anchored on Economy Madani framework. This is a long-term plan for which consistency and persistence are key success factors. With positive macroeconomic indicators providing a strong setting, the budget will focus on continuing sound fiscal policies for economic resilience and rakyat-centric initiatives to ensure no one is left behind. The Budget 2025 will be forward-looking, inclusive, and resilient. More than that, it will be pro-investment, pro-development, and pro-empowerment, and most importantly, pro-rakyat. Ladies and gentlemen, just as we explored in this forum, paving the path from the probable to the possible is not merely aiming for lofty goals, but also about starting the right foundation, small, practical steps that build towards bigger, meaningful transformations. The Ministry of Finance is committed to advance the Economy Madani agenda along these principles as well, ensuring that even as we continue to push the large-scale economic fiscal reforms, we also ensure the smaller things are done and done well. The rakyat's welfare, education, healthcare, and connectivity, no less important and no less probable or possible, a space to find winning solutions. What is required in an all-of-nation effort where every participant, be it the government, corporations, or individual Malaysians, bring their best game to match and work together towards shaping Malaysia that we all aspire to see. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I conclude my speech to bring down the curtain on Khazanah's Megatrends 2024. I congratulate Dato and Khazanah National's team for another successful edition, and I look forward to seeing you all again next year. Thank you.